The Masloppy Family by Catherine Fosno. Up a big, big hill, down a long, long path, through a thick, thick forest, there is an old, old house. This is the house of Nicholas Masloppy. Nicholas is 6 years old and he loves his big old house. There are lots and lots and lots of rooms. Once he even got lost in his own house. Nicholas lived there with his Uncle Lloyd, his Grandma Eudora, his sisters Henrietta, Delia, Violet, and Petunia, his baby brother Oscar, and his dog Itchy. Nicholas loves his family. Everybody looks out for each other, everybody is helpful, and everybody always shares. The only problem is that the house is so big and his family is so large that whenever Nicholas needs something he can't find it. Like the time he took home his library book from school and his teacher asked him the following week to bring it back. Nicholas wanted to return the book, but he couldn't find it. He looked and looked. His sister Henrietta had borrowed it from him. When he asked Henrietta where it was, she didn't know because Violet had borrowed it from her. Nicholas kept looking. Uncle Lloyd had borrowed it from Violet, and Grandma Eudora had borrowed it from him. Nicholas finally found it. Itchy had given it to the baby Oscar, and he couldn't even read yet. That didn't matter though, because Itchy had chewed the book so badly that no one could read it anyway. With so many people in the house, things were always in a mess. People were always borrowing Nicholas's crayons, and his pencils, and his toys, even his socks. He didn't even know how many he had anymore. He thought and thought. What could he do to help his family with the mess? And then he had an idea. He would organize the house. He would count everything and make signs. He would make a sign for how many crayons he had, how many toy cars, and how many socks. Maybe he would even make a sign for Uncle Lloyd's t-shirts. When people wanted to borrow something, he could keep track of what was missing and who had it. Nicholas started with his basket of crayons. He counted them all, and then he made a sign, 37 crayons. He hung it on the basket. Then he counted his pencils, 10 pencils. He put a rubber band around them and made a sign for the can they were in. Then he counted the socks in his drawer, 9 pairs of socks. How many socks was that? He counted, and then he made a sign for his sock drawer. I saw what Nicholas was doing. What a good idea, she said. I'm going to do my room too. Then Violet did her room, and soon everyone was busy. Petula and Dahlia organized their rooms too. Uncle Lloyd and Grandma Eudora organized the tools in the shed and all the food in the kitchen. They even counted the jars of Oscar's baby food. 6 jars of bananas, 10 jars of vegetables, and 4 jars of meat. Itchy even organized his bones. Soon there were signs everywhere. Can I borrow a pencil? Asked Dahlia. Sure thing, replied Nicholas with a smile as he crossed off the 10 and wrote a 9. Then he wrote down Dahlia's name. And now I know where it is, he said happily. And the next time he had a library book at home, he would know where that was too. He solved the problem and helped his whole family. And that day Nicholas got a new name. They called him the Organizer. Nicholas made a sign about that too, and he taped it on his door. It said, Nicholas Masloppy the Organizer, call me and be the wiser.